Well, the most important finding we've had consistently over the last 4 years is that a great majority of Americans lack confidence in the leaders of American institutions, whether it's the presidency or the Congress or business or Wall Street or journalism or lawyers or doctors or nonprofit organizations. There just isn't a whole lot of trust. Now, the levels of confidence have gone up and down. We started out with only about less than 60-65% 4 years ago said they had confidence overall in our leadership in the country and thought there was a crisis, and that number went steadily up during the last years of the Bush administration and reached well up to 3/4 of the population. And in the most recent survey, it's fallen some. Interestingly, Democrats, self-identified Democrats, tend to be more optimistic and more confident about our leadership than Republicans do. I guess that's a big surprise. But the other thing that is registered this year that became up quite clearly is right at the bottom in the confidence levels are Wall Street and the media, and they seem to go together in people's minds.
Well, in terms of the traits that Americans seem to pay a lot of attention to when evaluating their leaders, one is trust in what the leaders say. People really have to believe that what the leader is saying is what he or she really thinks and what they really intend to do. So that's important. A second very important dimension that emerged in the survey is competence. People have to believe not only that the intentions of a leader are good, but that they actually have the capacity or ability to execute those intentions. So that's vitally important. And third and finally, Americans were more confident in those leaders who they believed are working for the public good. So they really care about the motivation of the leader, and it helps if they believe the leader has the heart of the American people first and foremost in their minds.
I think probably what we're seeing is an erosion in confidence in medicine because of the healthcare debate. Americans in this survey consistently say that they are looking for leaders who care about the common good, who put the national interest first. And this debate has, I think, revealed not only the positive sides about the medical system in this country, but it's also fundamental to the argument of the debate has been the medical system isn't working well for the people. And it has to be reformed. The status quo is unacceptable. The premiums are going way up. And by the way, some doctors are making a lot of money. I think that has had an impact on public confidence. Medicine and the military were the two institutions in the country that in the early years were getting the highest marks for leadership, but medicine's taken something of a hit this year.
Well, the significant decline in Wall Street's performance in the survey is probably not altogether surprising given recent events and headlines. I will say, as a business school professor, it is interesting in one respect, and that is 20 years ago people had so much confidence in American business leaders in the financial markets. We were the model that the rest of the world looked to. So it's very disheartening to see the dismal performance in the most recent survey. On the other hand, it does accurately reflect the behavior and attitudes that people still see emerging from Wall Street. So in a way, it's good news that the public is not saying, we trust you, unless Wall Street begins to change its behavior. The question of what's different about the business results versus the Wall Street results is a really fascinating one to me. The data don't clearly tell us what's going on there, but it suggests that the American public is making a distinction between, let's say, the small business person or the business person running his or her own company in Wall Street as a financial institution. And they're saying we're not happy with the way Wall Street managed the public trust. But they still seem to have some increasing confidence in business people to turn the environment around. And that's encouraging. It suggests that maybe people are taking a fairly nuanced view of business.
My sense is that A year ago, we were in the trough of an economic crisis, and people were really scared things were going over the cliff, and there was a great sense that our business leaders had failed us and our political leaders had failed us. That sense of crisis has eased, and I think accounts for some of the easing of public attitudes toward our leaders. People are a little more sanguine today, but still negative, but more sanguine today than they were. So I don't think it's necessarily the coming of Obama, although it's obviously affected Democrats versus Republicans on confidence, as it is the fact that the fear of a crisis or going over and heading into a Great Depression has eased some.
Great.
I think the truth is we'll need another year. We'll have a much clearer sense of the Obama effect, quote Obama effect, a year from now. But right now he's in a period of great testing as president, and we don't. And I think people have to stay in their minds.
Well, I think it's important for the American public to understand that our government was founded on a healthy skepticism towards people in power and their ability to wield that power in the public interest. And so low confidence in leaders is not necessarily a bad thing. We should be wary and vigilant about what our leaders are doing and not doing. But one of the most impressive things in terms of why people should be hopeful about the prospects of leadership to make a difference is that a whopping 87% of respondents to this survey indicated they still believe in the potential of leadership to make a difference. That's an incredibly high number, and it gives me a lot of optimism that people haven't lost faith in leadership. They've only lost faith in the people who happen to be occupying those positions right now.